I know folks will be filtering in as I'm speaking, so I'll put all of this information in the chat as well. Welcome to Fusion Virtual College Fair. Few things to note that you attendees out there, your camera and microphone are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you. If you have a question, please make sure you hit that Q&A button either at the top or bottom of your screen, depending on your setup. Again, the only way to ask a question during this 45-minute session is by using that Q&A button at the top or bottom of your screen. Either direct it at one institution or you can direct it at everyone. You can sign up for future sessions. This is the last virtual session tonight. A recording of this will be available at strivescan.com/fusion. All of that, again, I will throw into the chat for you. And without further ado, I am going to, we're going to get kicked off with Skidmore College.
Hello, thank you everyone. Thank you for having me. So my name is Ciara. It's spelled with an X. It's pronounced Ciara like the singer. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm an assistant director here at Skidmore. I'm going to go through a lot of information pretty quickly, as everyone else probably will. So please, again, use the chat to ask any questions. So the first thing I'll start off with is Skidmore's location. So Skidmore is located in Saratoga Springs. We're about 3 hours away from New York City, 3 hours away from Boston, and 3 hours away from Montreal. We do have an Amtrak in Saratoga Springs, so students do have access to transportation. I know that's super important, especially for students coming from New York City, who kind of have a lot of accessibility in terms of transportation. The other thing in terms of transportation is that you can have a car as of your first year at Skidmore. So if you don't like taking the train or don't want to take a bus, you can definitely have a car on campus. And then the other thing is that we do have a CDTA bus line that reaches Albany, Troy, Boston Spa, Wilton Mall, which is about 5 minutes from the campus, and a lot of other locations nearby. Skidmore students do get in for free using your Skidmore ID. So that's a little bit about Saratoga Springs. Great food in Saratoga Springs. We have a lot of great food. There's this one place called Wasabi. A lot of students like eating there because it's $30 all-you-can-eat sushi for about 2 hours. 2 competing cafes that students rave about and love studying at and just hanging out with friends. Museums, we're really famous for horse racing. So you'll see in the summer, if you're around, a lot of tourists coming by just to see that. And of course, a lot of nature. So we have the outing club who does a lot of hikes. And then obviously you can go out on your own, but we also have snow tubing, skiing. So a lot of opportunities in terms of nature as well. That's a little bit about Saratoga Springs. Please throw in the Q&A, any questions regarding the area or anything that you might want me to cover throughout this session. In terms of campus life, one thing that's really important to note about Skidmore is that we do not have Greek life on campus, so no sororities or fraternities. We are a really close-knit community. And that's something that you'll hear students talk about a lot. We have this one student who actually did this test. They walked around with a map and just to try to see if students would help them out find different areas. So one thing about Skidmore is that students are really friendly, faculty and staff are really friendly, and we're a really welcoming community. So if that's something you're looking for, Skidmore is definitely a place for you. We have over 120 clubs on campus. Someone just recently started the Harry Styles Club. So you definitely have the opportunities to start clubs if there's something that you don't find. Then in terms of events and traditions, we do have this one tradition that I really love. It's called Fun Day. It's about letting your inner child out. So we'll have a lot of bouncy houses, concerts happening all over the place, you know, cotton candy machines, popcorn machines. So that's a little bit about what Skidmore you know, kind of does in terms of campus life. And then we have about 9 residence halls and campus apartments for students who are interested in kind of at a higher level living in on campus, but in the apartments. So it's a little bit about our campus life. Please throw in any questions, like I said, while I'm talking, if I can elaborate on anything or answer anything that I haven't covered. In terms of academics, there's about 44 majors at our campus. But in addition to that, you can kind of do like a DIY curriculum. So, let's say you want to mesh like 3 different majors to form something new. You can completely do that alongside an advisor. And then we also have a distribution requirement. So you do have to fulfill certain areas just to maintain that liberal arts education. We really want you to be educated, well-rounded student. And so that means, for example, we have a fine arts requirement. We require 2 classes within the fine arts requirement. And that means you could take anything from theater, dance, maybe metalworking, jewelry making, a lot of different courses available to you. The other thing about academics is that, the way we approach classes is really in an integrative, experiential way. So you're really there interacting and having discussion-based classes. We don't really do lectures at Skidmore, and our average class size is about 16. We have a 1-to-8 student faculty ratio. So you're really getting to know your professors, really getting to know your peers. And a lot of people say there's no stupid questions, and at Skidmore, we really mean it. We want you to engage with the material as much as possible. So that means asking all the questions and really just engaging with the professor. So yeah, a lot of things there. The last thing that I will mention in terms of academics is that we have something called the Scribner Seminar. It's our first year seminar. There's plenty of different classes you can take, over 30 different classes that you can take within the Scribner Seminar, like as an option. But in addition to that, the professor there actually becomes your advisor. So, and this is an advisor in addition to your academic advisor once you declare your major, which, by the way, you have until the end of your sophomore year to declare your major. Over 2/3 of our students partake in the arts and the sciences. Really popular here at Skidmore, not uncommon, super ingrained in the culture. So if you're interested in, doing theater and being on a pre-health track, that is completely normal and ingrained in our culture and something that you can take an opportunity of. The arts and the sciences are super, super important to us here at Skidmore, and we value both. So I have a question here. What resources do you have for students with learning disabilities? Great question. We have many different resources for students. This would be something that you would want to connect with our accessibility office to kind of gauge, what accommodations we can work with you on. But students do get many accommodations. I know this one student who was speaking at the open house, and they were talking about how one of the important things about their experience and in choosing a college was that not only as a student who did receive accommodations, that they felt that they were receiving the accommodations necessary, but in addition to that, that students who didn't receive accommodations still felt like they were supported on our campus. So we do have resources for accommodations, and you would just have to speak further to the accessibility office on that. That's a great question. Any other questions, please throw them in the chat, and I'll continue with talking about our strategic plan. The reason I like to talk about the strategic plan, which is basically like a 5-year plan. If you ever done a vision board on Pinterest, not the same, but it's a set of goals that a school and institution has. And so our 2 main pillars at Skidmore are DEI and sustainability. The reason I like talking about this is because, I think it's important that students take inventory of their own values and see if a school or an institution, is kind of meeting those needs and wants for them. And so at Skidmore, we have 2 main things that we're focusing on right now: DEI and sustainability. In terms of sustainability, about 37% of our campus is geothermally heated and cooled, and about 20% of our campus electricity is powered by a hydroelectric dam and our solar field. So in terms of sustainability, we're doing a lot of work there. And then in terms of DEI, we have this thing where, we really like to say at Skidmore, we don't like calling people out, we like calling people in. So we do have a series called the In It series. We host a lot of different programs within the In It series, happens twice a semester. And it's really about maybe having those tougher conversations so that we can improve as a community. So if that's something that you're interested in, something that you value, I would say Skidmore is definitely a great place for you. So that's a little bit about our strategic plan, campus life, academics, and now I'm going to talk about study abroad. We have our London first year experience, which is unique to Skidmore. So on your application, you would just indicate that, but in your first year, you'd be able to take advantage of that opportunity. And I see our camera is on, so I think my time is up.
20 seconds left.
20 seconds. Great. In terms of admissions, we're test optional. We've been test optional for about 9 years. We really like to focus on the holistic student. We don't have like an average GPA that we really focus on. We focus on who you are as a whole. We do have three different deadlines: ED1, ED2, and regular decision. Our ED2, early decision 2, and regular decision are the same date, January 15th, and you can actually change your regular decision application into a early decision 2, increasing your chances of getting into Skidmore because 50% of our students are accepted through our ED. In terms of financial aid, we are a need-based institution, and we do meet full need. So great things to keep in mind. We have 2 merit scholarships at Skidmore. You can look that up online and find out more information about that, or email me. I'll leave my information in the chat. Thank you very much for your time, everyone, and thank you for all the great questions.
Great, thank you. Next up, we have Lynn University.
Good evening. My name is Levi Bowen. I am filling in for Justin Wenzel tonight. He could not be here, so I am filling in for him. So I appreciate you taking your time to meet with me tonight. So just to give you an idea, we're a small private university located in Boca Raton, Florida. So we are in South Florida. I'm an hour north of Miami, 30 minutes north of Fort Lauderdale, about 45 minutes south of Fort Lauderdale. Currently on campus, we have about 3,500 plus students. That encompasses our undergraduate, graduate, and doctoral programs. Lynn does a lot of unique things differently than a lot of universities. So I'll talk to you a little bit about that. So we focus on the 3 C's of success here at Lynn University. That is going to be our learning culture, our social community, and also the whole reason that you come to college is for your career outcomes. So to begin with, I'll talk to you about our learning culture to begin with. Learning culture, we are completely technology based. So we are part of the pilot program for Apple. When they were getting into higher education. So we were an Apple distinguished school starting back in 2014. So what that means is that once you're an admitted student here at Lynn, everybody's given an iPad Pro. So this is pretty much your lifeline when you're at Lynn. All of your textbooks are ebooks loaded onto your iPad. So you don't have to buy any textbooks while you're here at Lynn. So that is a great cost savings right there. What that alleviates as well, too, is that you'll understand that at other universities, when you buy your textbooks for core curriculum and things like that, you're going to pay a lot of money for those books up front. And it's amazing how it always works that every semester there's a new edition or they change books. So you get peanuts back on the dollar for what you paid for that original textbook. With that, we alleviate that cost as well because all of our faculty write their own textbooks, which are ebooks on the iPad. With that said and done, all of our classes have Zoom links attached to them. So in the event you are traveling anywhere on vacation or in the event like COVID that happened, asymptomatic student, not feeling bad, but couldn't be in class, you can take advantage of all your courses as well too. Another unique aspect of Lynn University that we take for our education. So we have gone away from the complete 16-week semester schedule. With that being said, we've gone to a block schedule. You will complete the same amount of credit hours you would like a normal semester schedule, but you're going to be taking 1 or 2 courses with us every 4 weeks. So we have A block, B block, C block, and D block. For midterms and finals. We have noticed a large aspect of our students have GPAs have dramatically increased as a result of that. With that being said, classes are only Monday through Thursday, 2.5 hours each, and we're completely off on Fridays. We call those Freestyle Fridays. Those are meant for internships, your Citizenship Project, any meetings, tutoring, or anything like that. And if you don't have anything going on that Friday, then we're also less than 4 miles from the beach. So you have the opportunity to take advantage of a full long weekend and get everything taken care of that you need to. Outside of that, our core curriculum, we do a little bit differently as well too. So we call it the dialogues. We have 5 dialogues. These dialogues are, I call a reverse engineered curriculum. We sprinkle a little bit of the liberal arts on it, so you get to make it uniquely yours. And there's probably 5 to 10 courses in each of these dialogues you get to pick and choose from. So these are courses that are going to teach real life skill sets that you will use in your day-to-day classes and also for the rest of your life. So just to give you an example of what I'm referring to when I say that, we are referring to, like, say quantitative reasoning. That's going to be kind of like your college algebra course. So yes, here at Lynn, you will be learning college algebra. We're also going to be teaching you financial literacy as well. So with that, you're going to be learning about credit scores, mortgages. We're going to learn about balancing checkbooks, credit, savings accounts, checking accounts, and how to manage those. And all of our dialogues are created to teach real life lessons that you will use now in class and also for the rest of your life. Outside of that, that's a little bit about our academic side. So the next thing I talked about is our social community. So Lynn was actually voted one of the most diverse campuses in the state of Florida this year. We are very proud of that statistic. Currently on campus, we have over 109 countries represented. So we literally like to say at Lynn, we're a mini United Nations, and literally half of the world's population is actually represented here at Lynn. So you get a really unique global aspect from all of your educational standpoints, and we really take pride in that as well. Part of that, the social community as well is, again, we are very big about giving back in the social impact on our community and in the world. So with that being said, all students are required to complete a Citizenship Project is a requirement for graduation. And this is typically during your J term of your freshman year on the spring semester. So we help you with that and help you figure out what it is we want you to do. But again, we're very big on giving back to the community as well as our global community as well too. Outside of that, we have 7 dorms on campus that our students are required to live in. All freshmen and sophomores are required to live on campus unless you have a house in the 50-mile radius of Boca Raton. And at that point, you do not have to do that. With that being said, all of our dorms, once you apply for your housing, meal plan is included in that. So that is not anything else additional that you have to provide for you. It is unlimited meal plan. So as long as the dining halls and cafeterias open, you have unlimited swipes. And just so you know, we were also voted the 3rd best food in the state of Florida this past year for all universities and colleges. So again, we are very proud of that as well too. So that's a little bit about our social community and things we offer. We are Division II athletics. We have 19 intercollegiate athletic programs here at Lynn. We're the Fighting Knights. We like to say we're small, but we're mighty. So in our 38 years of athletic history, we have 39 national championships. So we are very, very competitive when it comes to athletics. And if you're interested in that, please let me know, and I can help you out with that as well too. And then secondly, the third part of our 3 C's of success are your career outcomes. This is the whole reason that you come to college. So here at Lynn, we're very large on our experiential learning. So meaning even in your first semester, we're going to be doing things in your actual career field. We do that for 2 reasons. One, we want you to be excited about your career field. And 2, you find out very quickly if you want to do this or if you don't want to do this. So in the event you decide to change your major, you're not so far down the pipeline that you have to change your major or change your mind, and it doesn't cost you more money or time at that point in time. With that being said, we also complete over 500 plus internships every semester, or every year. We help you with those as well, and you do not have to find any of these internships as well too. So we have databases of all of this stuff, so you can our career success outcome will help you out with that. And literally 98% of our students within 1 year of graduation are in a grad school of their choice and or a career field of their choice. So that is a very strong statistic that we look for as far as and we're very proud of that here at Lynn University. For those students who are also interested in the learning support, like you asked a little bit earlier, we also have the IAL, which is our Institute of Achievement and Learning. So this is a program that has specifically helped put forth for our students with learning disabilities. So you will have to provide documentation of your said disability, but this is all the academic support that you could possibly need. This is not a week on, week off basis that you're going to be meeting with your mentor. This is daily meetings with your mentor. So everything academically wise, we will help you and we'll support you and we'll give you everything that you need for there. Let's see, I have a question here. Hold on one second for me. Oh, I guess I just answered that question. So thank you, Karen. That was perfect. Again, my last name is Bowen too, so it's nice to know another Bowen as well. But yeah, so we have a very, very strong learning disabilities program. It's like I said, it is an extensive program. It is an additional cost for the university, but again, it is day-to-day mentoring with whether it be test taking, extra time. We have writing labs on campus. We assist you the whole 9 yards. So there is an additional interview process that goes along with that for the IAL, the Institute of Achievement and Learning, but we can assist you with anything that you need at that point in time. With that being said, that's a little bit about Lynn University. And if you have any additional questions, please feel free to let me know. Again, I'm filling in for Justin Wenzel, and I can, but feel free to reach out to us anytime you need, and we can help you out with anything you need. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have Simmons University.
Hi, thanks for joining us tonight. My name is Dana Bradstreet. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm one of the admission counselors at Simmons University. Spend the next couple minutes chatting about who we are as an institution, but I first want to start with our location in Boston because we have this really cool intersection in our area where we have, first of all, the Avenue of the Arts, Huntington Ave. You've got the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum literally right next door, the Museum of Fine Arts less than 5 minutes away, Symphony Hall, smaller art galleries and theaters. You also have the Fens and Fenway Park, of course, which is where the Boston Red Sox play. They're so close that on game days, you can open your windows and hear the cheers from the park. So it's a really exciting place. And they give $9 tickets for college students. And then we're also in the Longwood medical area. So some of the top hospitals in the country, like Boston Children's Hospital, Brigham and Women's Hospital, are within walking distance. So a lot of neat things happening in our neighborhood and a lot of ways our students can take advantage of it in terms of internships, in terms of cross-registration at other colleges. We're part of the colleges, the Fenway Consortium. It's 5 schools all within a square mile, and students can utilize a lot of the resources at these other schools. Simmons also requires all students to take a course called the Boston course in their first semester. So it's a college writing course. You're getting those writing skills, those research skills, but you're also exploring the city. You're going out there and seeing the museums and eating the food and exploring certain topics such as race and protest in Boston, or the art of the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, or women astronomers in Boston. I'm going to put some stats up here. I'm not going to read every single one, but I do want to highlight that we are a pretty small institution. We have 9 students per faculty member. We have just under 1,700 undergraduate students. But again, when you come to Simmons, you are also in that larger Boston community of 300,000 college students in the city. We have more than 70 student organizations, including the Simmons Dance Company, the Black Student Organization, the Pre-Med Liaison, TANK, which is the Trans and Non-Binary Coalition, an anime club, and a whole lot more. Again, I'm not going to read every single one of these for you, but this is our list of majors. Simmons is a liberal arts and sciences school, meaning that for most of our programs, you don't have to decide until the end of your second year. So you've got plenty of time to explore, and you're also benefiting from some of the other hallmarks of a liberal arts school. So you're taking classes in different areas. You are also gaining skills like research, public speaking, and writing that employers are looking for across fields. I want to highlight some of our majors that do require as an exception, they do require you to apply out of high school. So our nursing major, just because it's so structured and there's a limited number of seats, you have to apply for that out of high school, and you have to apply by November 1st of your senior year. And then these programs on the right, these 3+ programs, any of our 3-year bachelor's degrees do also require an application out of high school, just because it's a lot to squeeze 4 years of coursework into 3. So we want to make sure you're well prepared for that and are able to start that right away in your first semester, hit the ground running with those courses. But again, everything else, you've got 2 years to decide. About 13% of our students will double major as well. Another unique part of the Simmons experience is that we offer a woman-centered education. So this means that admission to Simmons is open to all students except for cis men. And so we find that lets us really empower our students. You know, I've got some stats up here. You're twice as likely to complete a graduate degree versus women who attend co-ed schools. And also incredibly, you're 12 times as likely to stick with a hard math or science major versus women who go to co-ed schools. And I think that really speaks to the level of support you get. You might have noticed one of the stats a few slides ago is that about 3/4 of our faculty are women, many of our staff as well. So they've kind of been there, done that, especially in a male-dominated field like STEM. There's also a lot of stats to show you're more likely to raise your hand and participate in class, more likely to hold leadership roles in your student activities, more likely to participate in the workplace and get engaged civically as well, as opposed to women who go to co-ed schools. So I really like to highlight this as a unique part of the Simmons experience, and it does add up to be pretty successful. We have 91% of our students employed or in grad school within 6 months of graduation, most of those in a field related to their major or program. And you can see on the left here a list of some of the top employers of our recent graduates. Many of them are local to Boston, but we have students going all around the country and around the world for that first job after graduation. All right, so I want to shift gears a bit and talk about our application requirements. This is all on our website, so I'm not going to get super detailed, but I do want to mention this is not a school we want you to really be stressed out about applying to. We have an acceptance rate that's typically between 60 and 70%. We are on the common application, so that's going to make life a lot easier for you and also for your school when you're sending in your application and your documentation to go along with it. We also have no fee to apply and no testing required. You can see that under 20% of our accepted students submitted standardized test scores since we went test optional 2 years ago. So please don't stress out about sending test scores. We also have an interview, which is optional. You are welcome to come to campus in Boston. We would love to see you for that, but we know it's not possible for everybody. So we also offer phone and Zoom interviews. And additionally, our admission team is on the road this time of year. So sometimes we might email and say, hey, I'm going to be at a coffee shop offering interviews on this day. Let me know if you'd like to sign up. We have 3 deadlines when you're applying. We have a November 1st deadline, which is again, all of our nursing applicants, and early action 1, meaning you'll hear from us before we close for winter break in 3rd or 4th week of December. The early action 2 deadline is December 1st, and you get your decision at the end of January. And then our regular deadline is February 1st. Those decisions come out in mid to late March. So 3 deadlines to pick from. We don't have early decision, but again, we do have those early action deadlines, meaning you can apply early, get your decision early, but you aren't bound to come to Simmons through that. Okay. So I have up here just our Instagram handle. Definitely recommend following us there. We have an open house coming up. Well, this Saturday, I know it's short notice, but we have a second one in November, as well as in-person and virtual events throughout the fall. I see I might have a minute or so left, so I wanted to leave a second in case there's any other questions. But in the meantime, I'm going to put a link in the chat of all of our admission counselors' contact information, more info about how to apply, how to visit, everything you need to know about Simmons. I know there was a question for the earlier presenters about accessibility services. So Simmons has an Office of Accessibility Services, and so they have different accommodations depending on what you qualify for. So for example, if you need a note taker, if you need a private or quiet space to test in, they have like individual testing rooms with proctors. So you don't have to like test in front of the whole group. They also will coordinate with residence life for folks who maybe need some sort of housing accommodation as well, and they will help you, empower you to have those conversations with your faculty. They will also have the conversations with faculty and let them know what accommodations you've qualified for. So that's a little bit about what we have to offer, and that's housed within our Greater Center for Student Success, which includes study abroad, tutoring, our writing center, academic advising, all in one place. So students have a really wraparound coordinated services from a lot of the academic support folks on campus. Any other questions? All right, thanks so much.
All right, thank you. Next, we have Beacon College.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sheila Faulkner-Lozer, and I'm the transition counselor for the Pacific West region for Beacon College. Beacon College was founded in 1989 and is the first college in the nation accredited to award bachelor degrees exclusively to students with ADHD and other learning differences. The college is located in Leesburg, Florida, which is about an hour north of Orlando. Leesburg is home to over 100 lakes, Fishing is really popular, along with a lot of walking and biking trails. Again, really close to Orlando for those individuals who love the theme parks, close by to Disney World, SeaWorld, Universal Studios, and Gatorland. I had an opportunity to visit Gatorland. Also, Leesburg is home for the famous Mystic ice cream. I had an opportunity to taste some Mystic ice cream. So if you get a chance to visit Leesburg, stop by Mystic ice cream. It's one of the local spots and favorites for the students. We've been voted the best choice for students who learn differently, both by US News, World Report, and Best Value Colleges for students with learning differences. We are nationally recognized as a leader in education for students with learning differences. However, for many reasons, however, it begins with the ongoing support and services that the students receive from when they first submit their application to when they step foot on campus. The support services continue all 4 years, all the way till their graduation. We have approximately 475 is our total student population. We have a 3-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So those students are able to really get that one-on-one individualized attention there. And we have approximately 14 to 15 students is our student class size. We have 7 majors, of which anthrozoology is our most popular, along with business management, and you'll see the rest there. And for those who are curious, like I was, anthrozoology is the study of animal and human relationships. Again, it's one of our very, very major popular majors. We have 17 minors, we have a study abroad program, and a 4-year scaffolded career development model, which I'm excited about, because Beacon College students begin the road to their career in their freshman year, where they work on self-discovery. When they're sophomore year, it's all about career self-awareness. In the junior year, we look at self-marketing and workplace success. In the senior year, it's about career and development. With all the majors, with all the associate and bachelor degree programs that we offer, students at Beacon College receive automatic accommodations. So they get that through the Center for Student Success. Students, once they are accepted to Beacon, will be assigned a learning specialist. That learning specialist also serves as their academic advisor. So they really get to know that learning specialist one-on-one. They also have access to individual and group counseling for when they have that good day and not so good day. The students I work with, I let them know, go see your counselor on a good day. Believe me, they're going to be happy that you stopped by. So they're able to have access to individual and group counseling. We have the peer tutors. They also have open learning that's led by our learning specialists and peer tutors, where the students can go in, they meet with the peer tutor or the learning specialist to go over, maybe there's an area in a subject or a topic or a paper or an assignment that they need some further assistance with, and they're able to get that in open learning. And that's offered both during the day, in the evenings, and on the weekends. They have the math lab, we have a writing center, and of course, the library is always a great place to study. We tell students, we know you think it's your dorm room, but we want you to go ahead and try the library, writing center, and the math lab as well. But then also, as we look at academics, Beacon does a great job of balancing the college life by providing activities and events for students. We have freshman and sophomore dorms. The freshmen and sophomore live on campus, and the juniors and seniors are off campus in apartments. They're called, the freshmen and sophomores are called, they're grouped into 3 to 4 students. They're called pod mates. So I let students know you're going to get to know 3 to 4 people of your closest friends from around the country and around the world quickly. So they become pod mates. We have intramural sports. We have free personal training. There's a ton of recreational opportunities. And again, the theme parks are really popular. Over 30 student-led clubs and organizations, and I find that one of the most popular ones is Dueling Lightsaber. And every time I mention that to students, they get real excited. And also Dungeons and Dragons and other Hogwarts. Those are some of the popular student clubs and organizations that we have. There's always ongoing activity. There's like bingo night, board game night. So it's a very, very engaging college. It's just truly amazing what they're able to do. So now that I told you some exciting things about our college, how do you apply? There's 3 easy ways. Beacon has its own online application that you're able to click on and submit. And then also we use the Common App. And for those who still like to use paper, you can print out an application, fill it out, and submit the information with your documentation to our Office of Admissions. With financial aid and scholarships, Beacon offers an extraordinary value. Again, I'm going to go back to that ongoing support and services that the students receive all 4 years, and automatic built-in accommodations. It's not at any additional cost. It's automatic and built in. We would ask that you complete the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. Some of the types of the aid that you may qualify for are grants, scholarships, loans, and work study. You would definitely want to reach out to our Director of Financial Aid if you had any further questions. Well, we always ask a student when we meet with them, when they interview, when they meet with us, is meet with a transition counselor, ask admission questions. Some of the questions that we want to ask is that, are you ready? How are you feeling about the transition from high school to college, or if you're a transfer student to college, are you ready? And then whether or not they answer yes, no, or maybe, all of the above answers are correct, because Beacon offers college readiness programs to meet the needs of the students, regardless of what grade level and where they're at academically. We have the Summer for Success program for our sophomore through seniors. We have Navigator Prep Junior. We have our Navigator Prep program, Beacon's Foundations, and Navigator Prep College Coaching as one of our other programs that we offer. And also, so looking at Summer for Success, it's a 3-week immersion for our rising high school juniors and seniors and those who recent graduates who learn differently. They provide them with 3 different options to choose from. Our exploration option is you're able to take classes on the campus and then visit some of the theme parks. Imagination experience, you're looking at behind the scenes with Disney. You're able to visit all 4 Disney theme parks. And then we have offer another one where it's beyond imagination. So if you want to really get into that world of escapism and look at the hospitality track that we offer, you want to look at the beyond imagination experience. The design of the program is intentional. 3 weeks. We start at 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. because the colleges wanted the students to really be immersed and understand that this is what it's going to look like when you get ready to join, and enroll into college. This is what happens when you get into college. This is what it looks like. So it's an intentional design of the program. All of our our college readiness programs end with an evaluation and report that is sent out to the families to go over with their students. The next one is our Navigator Prep Junior program. It's a 6-month, it's virtual. So what we're working with the students here is proactively to prepare for the college application process and the transition to college. Because we want them to start looking now. We use College Board as our tool to start the students looking at finding out what it is they like, what they don't like, what their needs are. And through the course of the program, we start out with a large number and we get down to a short number. And then we have our Navigator Prep program, which is our transitional program. We're working with students with their emotional regulation, social skills, things of that nature. There's 3 tracks to choose from throughout the year. And then we also have college coaching for those students who have attended college outside of Beacon. We're able to provide resources to those students as well. And then foundations is you're able to take classes online. If you're not quite ready to go to college, you don't want to step foot on campus, but it's 100% live and you're able to work with Beacon faculty and staff. We just ask that you stay connected and join us. Here's my contact information. I'll also put some information in the chat for you.
All right, awesome, thank you. If I could have all the panelists come on to camera, we're going to go in the same order that we presented it, and you're going to answer the question, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we're going to start with Skidmore. Maybe not. All right, we're going to go to Lynn University next. Okay, we're just going to keep going. Simmons University.
Yeah, I would say talk to students at the college, whether that's an ambassador who's giving your tour, or if there's some sort of virtual program like we have a program called Fin Pals because we're the Simmons Sharks. But really, hear from them what the student experience is like, because you can talk to us and we have a lot of information, but we haven't all necessarily been through it ourselves. So any way that you can connect with the current students will really help you out.
And Beacon?
And I would say just look at your options, just keep your options open. Know that there's a lot of options out there for you, and just take your time and just be aware of your options. You do have options.
All right, we're gonna go with one more question. What's one thing you want students to remember about your school? And if Simmons, if you would like to go.
That's a good question. I would say just the really unique experience of being the only woman-centered institution in the city of Boston, something, you're not really going to get with any other school in the city.
Okay, Beacon?
And that our college, Beacon College, looks at the student holistically, and they also include the parents. The parents, it's very family centered. So in the application process, as well as our our college readiness programs, it's all family centered. So just that's what I would have them remember, is that we're just a family centered college for students who learn differently, and we're here to support them.
All right, Skidmore?
Thank you. I would say in terms of Skidmore, we're a really inclusive and safe, welcoming environment for students. And we want you to have full autonomy over your academic and personal experience. Obviously, you'll be here for about 4 years. So it's really important that you choose a place that aligns with who you are and what works for you.
Okay, Justin, would you like to add? What's one thing that you would want students to remember about your school?
I'm sorry, can you? I missed it.
It's for Lynn University. I forgot you can change it. Different person. But it's what's one thing you want students to remember about your school?
I just want you to remember the uniqueness of Lynn University, the personal aspect we take, the technology-based learning that the Gen Z students love, our easy semester schedule for the block schedule, the 1 and 2 courses that you get to take every 4 weeks, and the fact that we teach you real-life practical applications in your core curriculum. So that's just one thing I'd like to take with you. And just remember Lynn when you're looking at universities in the South.
And if you have any other information you folks want to throw into the chat, now's the time. I'm going to share my screen one last time, go over a few end of the session items. So just folks, if you can check that chat, if there's something you want to jot down in there, please do so. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate your feedback. So when you do exit out of this presentation, you will be asked a 5-question survey. So please answer that. That helps us a lot. This is the last virtual session for this, but there are a lot more opportunities. Some of those opportunities were presented in the chat, so make sure you grab them from there. Also, if you go to StriveScan's website, you will see a bunch of options as well that you can sign up for. A recording of this, everything that's in that chat. If you feel like you missed anything, no worries. You can go to strivescan.com /fusion. That's also in the chat as well. And so feel free to grab it out of there. With that, I just want to wish you best of luck. Please reach out to these folks. They're the experts. They want to make sure they find the right fit for you, wherever that may be. They have the answers that you're looking for. So please reach out to them. Thank you so much. I wish you the best of luck in the future and in your college search process, and just have fun with it. It's an exciting time. And with that, I hope you have a phenomenal night. Take care.